So it's been one interesting week, especially when you consider one of the interactions I had with one of the lawmakers, and that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm in Washington. I'm talking to lawmakers and people trying to get a pulse of what's happening in the country. They have 30 days to fund the government. There's the Epstein thing that's going on with all of the survivors who are meeting. And so I wanted to get some answers from Marjorie Taylor Greene. And so I wanted to write about my interaction with her because I think that you'll find it interesting, and just how sometimes you don't know who may become an ally in certain situations, but not permanent allies. Okay. So this is what I wrote on Substack, and you can find it on my Substack, but it's about Marjorie Taylor Greene. It says, she may not want my allyship, but I value hers. Shocking, right? Mark your calendars. Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't care for me. That much was clear this morning, or the other morning when I approached her in our nation's capital. She looked at me the way that she looks at the liberal media that she rails against all the time, as if I were some intruder in her story, a villain in her script, perhaps. But here's the part that you may not expect. I actually value what Marjorie Taylor Greene said and did this week, even though she may not understand that, because she, likes to make enemies and she's combative. Now, I want to be very plain about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene has built a career on conspiracy and cruelty. She has mocked survivors of school shootings. That is not good. She has trafficked in the ugliest type of bigotry possible. She has lied about me personally this week, claiming that I'm a misogynist. Nothing can be further from the truth. She doesn't know my story. She doesn't know what has happened to me. She claimed that I stormed the Capitol when I did nothing more than stand calmly in the Rayburn building to ask when she'd be available to speak to a group of Americans that I was covering as a journalist. So, as my head writer, Peter, always says, breaking news, fork found in kitchen. So perhaps you'd not be so surprised about Marjorie Taylor Greene not having her facts straight. And yet, though, when Greene stepped onto that bipartisan stage the other morning and she demanded a full release of Jeffrey Epstein's client list, well, when she pledged to name every predator, even those with power, even those in her own party, I felt something that was, quite frankly, unexpected. I felt a respect, not admiration for the woman, not absolution of her sins at all, but respect for that moment. Because survivors of Epstein's network have lived for decades with silence hanging over them like a second crime. They have watched presidents and princes and billionaires sleep soundly, while for decades they have watched that. And while they have gotten no absolution, no resolution, no nothing, it's just sad. They have watched these people sleep soundly while they carry the weight of what has been done to them. And that is completely unfair. And this week, for once, someone with power said enough. They said that I believe that takes courage. I believe it takes real courage, the kind that really costs something, because it could cost her seat. Some folks might like that, but some folks believe it's political. Some folks believe she's trying to save her seat. Look, I'm not going to rewrite Marjorie Taylor Greene's history here. I'm not going to pretend that she's a friend of truth or justice or even basic decency, because most of the time she's not. She has called me names. She has smeared my character. She will likely keep doing both. But I was raised to believe this: if I will call you out when you are wrong, and I do, I must also tell the truth when you're right. That's only right. As a person of integrity, I believe that is the right thing to do. So today, Marjorie Taylor Greene, or this week, I have to say she was right. She stood shoulder to shoulder with Ro Khanna, a progressive Democrat, and said the names must be made public. For once, the circus stopped. For once, the performance fell away. And for once, Marjorie Taylor Greene chose the side of survivors. She chose to be on the right side. And I say that not as a commentator, not as a headline chaser, but as someone who knows what it is to carry that weight as a survivor myself. I recognize the courage it takes to demand the truth in a world that so often prefers the lie. That is why, despite everything else that has been, I will say it, everything else that she has been, I'm going to say this plainly. And that's thank you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, for standing up with us survivors this week, today. Thank you. That does not make us allies. That does not undo the harm of yesterday or guarantee the decency of tomorrow. But in this rarest of moments, we share a North Star and in a country that is really fractured, where truth so often feels like a stranger, that absolutely matters. Let me know what you think. Did she do the right thing? How do you feel about it? I want to hear from you in the comments. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.